The good life.
Of wine and roses. Oh, hey guys, sorry about that, man. I always like to listen to a little Frank, a little Italiano, you know what I mean? Get myself in the zone. Days of Wine and Roses, great Frank Sinatra album. As always, it's another exciting day in my kitchen, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna bring you a great recipe that it's not only delicious and light and bright, it's going to bring you a little bit of that Italiano, a little bit of that extra cooking Italian with Joe punch that I love to bring to you guys. All right, so let's get going. Today's recipe is tzatziki sauce. Huh? Now I know some of you guys are going, hey, hold on. Cooking Italian with Joe. Hey, tzatziki sauce is Greek. That's what you're thinking. I know that's what you're thinking. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not Greek. Recently, archaeologists have been uncovering manuscripts of old cookbooks, and what they've discovered is tzatziki sauce is actually an Italian recipe. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Actually, southern Italy was run by the Greeks. In fact, Sicily and southern parts of Italy were called Little Greece many, many years ago. All right, enough of the history lesson. Let's go over ingredients and make something delicious. All right, number one, center stage, on the marquee, the big kahuna. Got 2 cups of Greek yogurt, right? European style yogurt. And the key on this is full fat. I don't want light fat. I don't want no fat. I want fat. Flavor is your fat. Don't be skipping out on me, okay? All right, number 2, another main component of this is going to be our cucumber. I don't know, when I hold that, I don't know. I don't feel as much of a bad. I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Is it cold in here? What's going on? All right, so you're gonna have a medium to large cucumber. All right, let's just leave it there. Get your head out of the Italian gutter, okay? Stop it. All right, now garlic. Some of you are saying that's a lot of garlic. Hey, that's a lot of garlic. It is a lot of garlic. I understand that, but I have some friends of mine that always bring me different foods knowing that we do our cooking show, so they just brought me some fresh garlic. So we're going to use, not all this, though I could eat all this. We're going to bring about maybe 2 to 3 cloves of garlic is what we're going to bring in there. Oh gosh, smells so good. I love garlic. Now we're going to add some sunshine. So think of this, earth. Remember I was sharing with you guys earth, kind of earth and sun, right? And this is going to be our sunshine. So we're going to use the juice of a whole lemon. I like to add a little bit of zest. Not the whole lemon, just a little bit extra, because that gives you those oils, right? And the juice of a lemon. We're gonna want some dill, and we're gonna use about a tablespoon at tops of dill. So delicious, you know. And then we're gonna add some thyme. And here we're gonna add, you know, a couple of stems. I got 4 stems here, so maybe a quarter to half a teaspoon of thyme. Oh, boy, that's good. And then one of my favorites is going to be our rosemary. Same thing. We're going to use about a quarter to a half of a teaspoon of rosemary. Oh, that is so delicious. I'll tell you, rosemary, I can't remember if it's rosemary or oregano. If you smell it, it helps your memory. I can't remember, so it's got to be oregano. All right. So listen, one of the keys, what this goes great with, on a side note, is roasted anything. And often with your roasted vegetables, especially roasted meats like chicken and lamb or bistecca, beef, you're going to have that thyme and rosemary mixed in. So we want to flavor the layers here. So that's what you're doing. You're adding just a little bit of what you would add to something roasted, and it marries absolutely delicious. Now, one of the tricks here, this is from old Italy, old Greece, is you're going to add nuts, nocia. So what I've got here, I've got walnuts. So you could add hazelnuts, you could add almonds, but my favorite is walnuts. So we're going to add some walnuts. I'm going to show you how to toast these before we put them in there. And we've got here about a quarter of a cup, third of a cup of walnuts that we're going to roast and chop. All right, now we're going to add some salt, and we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt. Top, today I got a pink Himalayan. I like pink Himalayan here because we're using a lot of kind of earth tones in here, and pink Himalayan it's sexy. Next, we're going to use some fresh ground pepper. So we're going to use about a half to a full teaspoon of fresh ground pepper, depending on what your flavor's like. You got to go to fresh ground, always better. And last but not least, we're going to use some olive oil. And olive oil is key in here. We're going to use a good 3 to 4 tablespoons of it, probably a little bit more when we finish it. I'm thinking we should use the best olive oil in the world, and because this is truly an Italian recipe, I'm thinking we should use some Italian olive oil. For anybody new to our channel, I have a farm with my 2 boys in Italy. It's in Puglia, Italy. It's just above the heel. We co-op with a group of farms to bring in some of the best olive oil in the world. My 2 sons, Vito and Joe, I named the company after them. And I'll tell you, our olive oil it's grassy, earthy, peppery. It's delicious. You can get it in a large, small bottle, and you go to our Facebook page. You can click the link right here at the YouTube. You can go to my web page, Cooking Italian with Joe, and just click on a large or small. We'll drop ship it right to your house. I call it a trip to Italy right in a bottle. All right, so what do you say we get going? This is fun and easy. Let's start with the cucumber. Now, one of the keys on your cucumber has an enormous amount of water content, so you're never gonna get it all out of there, but we wanna pull some of that out because we don't want the cucumber to leach out the water and dilute the flavors, okay? So essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a strainer of some sort. You can use a cheesecloth, which works great. I just use a strainer, a bowl, and a grater, and we're gonna make some cucumber for our tzatziki sauce. I'm gonna take my cucumber, my large grater, a strainer, and I'm gonna go ahead and just start running my cucumber right over my grater. Cucumber's fully grated, and I haven't even squeezed this yet. You see all the fluid coming out of there? So I want that moisture out. So I'm gonna just tell you to grab it, make a little bit of a ball. Oh, that smells so good. And just give it a good squeeze. So I'm just gonna spread the cucumber out here in the strainer, and I'm just gonna let that set here for a few minutes. And now I want to get those herbs ready. So I'm going to grab my thyme. The aroma is just fantastic. Rosemary. And my dill. Perfect. So on thyme, what you're going to do is you're going to take it the backwards way. I'm going to take the top. I'm going to touch it here with my fingers, pinch it, and then I'm just going to pull against the natural grain of the leaf, and then just pull any little things you got off the top. I'm going to do the next one. Now we're going to take our rosemary, same thing. I'm just going to pull across the grain, and then we're going to do our dill. Simplest way to do the dill is just do a gentle tug, and what you want will come off. Now we want to finish it off with a little dill on the top, so I'm going to hold back just a little dill. I'm going to put this off to the side just as a decoration. Beautiful. So I've got everything in here, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to just get these all married down and made into smaller pieces. Now I'm going to take my lemon, and I want to get a little bit of that zest, and I'm just going to put that right on top of the herbs here. So I'll do about half of the lemon. Next, I got my garlic here. So I got, these cloves are big, so I'm going to hit 2 of them down. And I think a really fun way to do this, and it makes it easy, is you can just microplane it, or another easy way is just to take your press, and this works really easy, you know, if you got some pieces. And I like to do it right on the herbs. I just think it makes life easy. Guys, I got my lemon zest, all my herbs, my garlic, everything ready to go. Next, what I want to do is I want to roast these walnuts, okay? Real easy. So a couple of tips on that. Number one, I want to get a cast iron pan, and I want to get it nice and warm. And I don't like to do it unless I'm attending to it, because I tend to burn them sometimes. So I like to give it my full attention. You're probably talking just a handful of minutes here. Number two, what makes these come out great is not only Frank Sinatra, The Days of Wine and Roses, but if you hit that red subscribe button, matches my towel right here. When you hit that and you hit that bell, any new trips we've got coming up, blogging with Borio, any new travel ideas, whatever we got going on with Italy, it'll come right to your notification box. And like I tell people, it always means a lot to me when you subscribe to the channel. And hey, it makes you part of the family, you know what I'm saying? And then don't forget to hit that link right below or on the website. Grab yourself some oil. All right, so let's get these nuts going. So just set them right in the pan and let them set and warm. And with that hot pan, what it'll do is it'll heat the nuts, and then the proteins and the oil start to separate a little bit, and it gives you a flavor much deeper, a little bit more rustic than you'd have if you just put a raw nut on there. See how it gets that brown, almost blackened look? That's what we want. And again, it doesn't take long. All right, so the nuts are done. We're gonna shut that heat off, get them out of there. So I just wanna chop the nuts up. So I'm just gonna take my knife. Oh, they're nice and warm. I'll tell you, the smell in here is just fantastic. So just give them a nice chop. I like to do when it's warm, they fall apart. Now what I'm going to do is all my nuts are chopped here. I'm just going to hold back a little like I did with my dill, just because I want a little bit to top it off with. I'm going to take my lemon, cut it in half. All right, a few minutes have passed. My cucumber is all strained, ready to go. And now I want to assemble this. So the simplest thing I find is just take the bowl that you're going to serve it in. So I'm going to serve it in this beautiful bowl of Italy. So I'm going to put this right down. First, I'm going to take my yogurt. I'm going to spread that out. So now I'm going to take my lemon juice. I'm going to kick that right in there. And that's really going to brighten it up. Now I'm going to take my dill, my rosemary, my garlic, my thyme. Put all that in there. I'm going to take my roasted walnuts, all these beautiful flavors of Italy. Now, before I add my cucumber, I'm going to give this a real gentle stir just to mix that lemon juice in there. Now I'm going to add my salt, pink Himalayan. So about a half a teaspoon, maybe a touch more. Fresh ground black pepper. Again, a good half of a teaspoon. Next, obviously, Vito and Joe's olive oil. So we're going to add a good 3 tablespoons. We're going to incorporate that right in there. So now I'm going to add all of my cucumber drained. I'm going to finish it with a texture right on the top. And now if you guys remember, I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of olive oil, just to drizzle. Vito and Joe's, obviously. We got our nuts. And a little bit of that dill that we had left over. Fantastic. Now the key on this, my advice on this is at least 30 minutes. So whether you put it in the refrigerator or certainly a cool place, let it set 30 minutes because you want all those juices, those oils, those flavors to really meld and marry so that when you pull that yogurt out, it's flavored with everything we stirred it in. And we've gone 30 minutes. Now we've got roasted lamb coming tonight. Just to have a great flavor of this, I'm just gonna take a tomato, a nice fresh cherry tomato, cut it in half, and I want to try to grab it so where everybody can't see it. You can just see everything in there. Just, I mean, everything in there is delicious. I want to get a nut. Oh, that's going to be good. It's like a mouth explosion of flavor. We got the yogurt, the cucumber, the dill, the thyme, the rosemary. You got a little bit of that texture and flavor, the oil of the nut, the garlic, salt, the pepper, the lemon. Oh, what a perfect marrying of flavors. Just delicious. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. I'm thinking I got the other half tomato. I don't want it to go to waste. Multiple on. Guys, listen, this goes good with especially anything roasted. Guys, thanks so much for joining me for an absolutely delicious Italian recipe. And guys, remember to click your red subscribe button and the bell. Get our notifications. Make you part of the family. Jump online on the link or Facebook page or our Cooking Italian with Joe page. Grab yourself a bottle of Italian Vito and Joe's extra virgin olive oil. Love to ship you a bottle right to your front doorsteps. And remember, guys, as I share with you every week, you know, remember to surround your table with your family, your grandparents and your parents. Shut the TV off, the computer, the cell phone. Make a mess, share stories, celebrate your heritage, and set some traditions that'll last you a lifetime. I know they did for me, guys. Hey, from my kitchen to yours, until next week, I'm already excited about it. Mwah! Buon appetito!
The good life, full of